6 months later, at the Museum of Natural History in New York, our two heroes, Mr. Joseph Croft, Joe, and Mrs. Savanna Lindon, received an invitation from Dr. Lazlo Horvath, their good friend, their world-renowned scientist. So it's a beautiful evening, and the museum take the appearance of a ballroom with projector light in front of the door, people in their best outfit. Miss Lindon wear this beautiful ball dress, and I give my player a style point because this dress is really restrictive. In fact, she described the dress as very restrictive, so I gave her a style point for it and restricted her dexterity by 1 for the remaining of the scene, while Mr. Croft was in a suit. So they are mingled or mixed with other people, talking and doing the social thing. And suddenly the Dr. Horvath come down the stairs with her assistant, a nerdy type librarian with hands full of books and scrolls. And they recognize her, of course. Her name is Enna Wright, yes. So the doctor is really happy to see his friend, and he says, like, I have made a breakthrough thanks to you and this travel we did at Cairo, and takes going to this conference in Cairo and taking all this Atlantic Ocean air gave me ideas, and I created a machine, and I'm super excited, and I will reveal it tonight, and I'm so glad. Let's celebrate after the conference, my friend. So they all agree, and the doctor went onto the stage to announce his great discovery. So he talked about his invention, the electrostatic generator of organoray. The guy who wrote the scenario made me laugh on that one. Organoray, that's classic. So he unveiled with a snap of a rope a big giant astrolabe thing, like a bulb of crystal with a green light at the center, and he activated the machine and presented the world a new invention. And then, as the presentation went on, a wall at the back of the room exploded, and 7 Aryan Übermensch, Arnold Schwarzenegger-like, with crew cut, big neck, muscle guy in black uniform, entered the room, followed by a beautiful, frail creature, a woman with beautiful cascading long blonde hair and a big fur coat, white fur coat, and an eye patch, a white eye patch. And she said in a strong German accent, "Get the scientist, shoot anyone in your way." And then she turned around and went away, and the 7 muscular men start to wreak havoc in the scene. So there was some gunshots. The crowd in panic fleeing the scene, and our heroes stuck in a wave, a human wave, started to go to help the professor, the doctor. So there was some fighting. Miss Lindon had a problem with her dress, and Mr. Croft didn't add any weapon on him. So my player decided to spend a style point. So he decided that a Western theme room was next to the big ballroom, where there was those big giant dinosaur skeleton, but he decided that it was a little room dedicated to the Old West. So he went there, smashed a window, and took the first gun he saw, a gun that was allegedly the property of one of the Earp brother. So he started to load the thing and start to shoot at some Nazi agents. During the fight, a Nazi guy went for the good old doctor, and he had a pistol pointed at him. So as he walked forward, the professor, I'm saying the professor, but he was a doctor in physics. So the poor doctor was trembling in fear, and he just fell down on the control of the electrostatic generator of organoray, Igor, and activated unknown functions of the device. And green electric arc started to emerge from the device. And one electric arc just went for the Nazi agent, and he was shocked, and as his muscle twitched, he accidentally fired on the doctor, who took a bullet in the chest, blood, and the scientist went to the floor. As the Nazi agent started to transform, gaining a full foot in height, his body covered in twitching muscles, kind of like the first appearance of the Hulk, the green, not the green, but the gray monster. So the agent started to mutate. So as the machine continued to escalate and went crazy, a disc at the ceiling started to appear. A disc, and on the other side of the disc, people could see sunlight, another sky, and mountains, and eggs, and a dinosaur head lurking through. And suddenly a Pterosaur, his wings stretched as he could, went into the circle, a rift, a dimensional rift, and the dinosaur just went and grabbed a Nazi agent and smashed the window and started to fly into the sky of New York. So all kind of crazy chaos was happening. The two characters were overwhelmed by this. Mr. Croft decided to stay at the scene to try to reach the doctor and to help him. But now he was standing in front of a giant mutated agent that was grabbing the leg of the doctor and dragging him on the floor. There was this other agent at the back of the room trying to shoot him. So as he fought, as he shot the guy at the back, he went for a rope at the ceiling. He saw this this Pterosaur skeleton hanging at the ceiling, and he spent a style point to have the perfect trajectory, and he shot the rope. My the tricks was this particular tricks was called for several times during the game, so I had like my little mechanics that appear for a defense for a rope, just one die, and I was rolling my rope dice. It was funny. So the Pterosaur skeleton snapped and did the pendulum thing, and the guy received the skeleton in his face, and the two of them crash into a window and disappear, and Mr. Croft did the German salute just before running toward the mutated Nazi agent, gaining 2 style point for it. So as he did that, fighting and trying to reach the doctor, something snapped into the mind of Miss Lindon as she saw the Pterosaur. No one has ever hunted a Pterosaur ever, and she's from a family of big game hunter, and she has this motivation about duty, family duty. So she went outside with the crowd. She went to the car, opened the trunk, and unload her big ass elephant gun with the sniper scope and everything, the biggest gun you ever seen, manipulated by this lady in dress, and she finally ripped the dress and got rid of the penalty for dexterity. And imagine that in front of the museum, collision between cars, people dressed nicely running everywhere, and and among them this lady in a ball dress with this giant .52 caliber impossible sniper rifle, and she was hunting for the Pterosaur. And as everyone was doing this, a Nazi agent went for the machine, put on a glove, special glove, opened a window, green energy came through it, and he went for the piece that were making the machine work, a crystal this big, green crystal, emitting some kind of energy. And he took it, placed it in a bag, and ran away towards that lady, that German lady. And she was patiently waiting in a Rolls Royce, all white again, very iconic. And as he entered the Rolls Royce just flew away. And instead of being stuck in the traffic, this beautiful luxury car went straight for Central Park and went through some bushes and scratching its paint and all, doing like the Jeep thing but with a Rolls Royce. So in this scene, the only thing that were preventing Mr. Croft from reaching the good old doctor to give him first aid was this giant monster. So he tried a little bit to shoot on him with practically no effect, and the mutated man just grabbed a giant dinosaur bone as a club, and he was swinging the big bone as a club. So Mr. Croft was really not in an advantageous position. He was really trying to find something to stop this monster. So my player ended up with the idea. He spent some style point, and he called for a a giant Triceratops skeleton just behind him. So he was waiting patiently, and as the mutated guy monster just charged him, he just rolled on the side, and the monster impaled himself on the horns of the Triceratops, and he went crashing into the skeleton, and bones were flying everywhere. And Mr. Croft just ran for his friend, grabbed him, and the last words of the doctor were, "Hello, Earth. What have I done? No, Crystal, you must shut down Igor." Igor was the acronym for the electrostatic generator of organ array, Igor. So, "You must shut down Igor. Green Crystal." And he just died. And Mr. Croft looked at the ceiling, and he saw that the rift was still there. And over the sky, over the clouds, he could see volleys of Pterosaur. And he just imagined for a second them crossing the rift into our world. And he went, "Oh shit." He grabbed the doctor, went outside, found the medical doctor, gave him the body of his friend, trying to do something about it, and just went for the park. Miss Lindon tried to shoot the Pterosaur at different occasions in the street, but at one point she looked at the sky and she saw a zeppelin, a black zeppelin, anonymous, no marking, slowly landing into Central Park. So our two heroes, in their independent ways, find themselves back in Central Park, and went like, "Oh my god!" And Mr. Croft quickly explaining the situation, and the two of them decided to run for the Nazi agent. The Nazi nearly escaped because of all the chaos, and they nearly escaped. But our heroes arrived at the Central Park landing point, and they fought some guards as this white lady went into the zeppelin, and the zeppelin started to lift into the air as they fought their way through these minions, and then they grabbed some rope and started to climb into the air. Inside the zeppelin, they quickly took some clothes. They tried to wear the uniforms of the Nazi agent. They fought them, and the Pterosaur came back, attacking the zeppelin, attacking the tails, and suddenly the zeppelin started to lose its control, its maneuver. Finally, the zeppelin was so damaged it crashed on the roof of the museum, and several characters went through glasses, windows, and fall back into the room where the machine was. Mr. Croft and the Nazi agent was a colonel. This lady, she was a colonel. In the end, she was trying to get down with a rope, and Miss Lindon took a rifle and sniped the rope, and she just fell, breaking a glass ceiling, and she fell next to the machine on the scene, breaking the scene, and went dead. So our two heroes repair the machine, and with great pain and getting electrocuted at every turn, and in the end, big flash of light, the machine was repaired. But as they awake from a terrible explosion, they realized that they were no longer on Earth. They were elsewhere. So I turned to my players and said, "Welcome to the Hollow Earth."